Hey guys, this is informalgadget.com, and I just want to show you guys a quick app called Rotowire Draft Kit 2014. If you're about to go out and do your draft in one of the leagues, if you have a whole bunch of different leagues that you go in to and you want a tool that's going to help you have the edge on draft day, this is the app to have. Now, if you go into the App Store, you could go ahead and purchase it there and go ahead and open it. Now, I recommend using this app on an iPad or a tablet. It works very well on your phone or on an Android phone or iPhone, but on the tablet I find it the best view and the best real estate to be able to use this tool. But really quick, I just want to go over it and tell you exactly how I use this. Now, the day before or a couple hours before actual draft day, I go ahead and go into the app, download it, purchase it, download it, and then the first thing I do is, if you see right here on the top, it says player updated at, you could go ahead and click on the refresh button, and it's going to tell you to tap here to update the data. So this is actually going to update all the information on the rankings of each player in the NFL. And this will take a little bit of time. I recommend doing it on Wi-Fi, but if you could use it on the data on your phone, go ahead and do that. But it does take a little bit of time because it updates all the information for each player in the league. Once it's done, go ahead and dismiss, and then go ahead and go to your settings, and you see how it says drafts. I already made one right here. It says current Yahoo, but you could use the current one, or you could create a new draft. So if you have more than one draft that you're going to use, you could make specific settings for each draft that you're going to have. So you could go ahead and go to create new, and as you could see, the ones that it supports, that has here Yahoo, CBS, ESPN, and NFL, or you can make a custom one. So I'll just go to NFL, and then you could name it whatever you want or leave it as NFL 1, and then you just put the different settings for your specific league. So you could choose your draft style. You have snake, straight, third round, or a custom, or an auction. Then go ahead and save it. And then with the draft just my team, what I recommend doing is putting yes. And I'll explain why later on in the video, but I would recommend putting yes. And then you could go ahead and choose the number of players on your team. The roster settings here, you could go up and choose each of the players that are going to be on your roster that are allowed in that specific league. You could also do the scoring, which you set to your specific league. So, if for every passing yards you get 1 point and it's actually every 20 yards, you could go ahead and change it. Done. And just go ahead and go down the list. You could get all this information in your account on whatever league. If you're using Yahoo, NFL, or wherever you're at, you could get all this information right there. So just go ahead and put all that information in. And once you set up all the settings, you go ahead and save it. And remember, do this an hour or two, or the day before, the night before you go to draft day, because you don't want to be there, trying to put in all these settings, 5 minutes before the draft starts. So once you do that, you could see right here where it says current. That's the current team that you're going to be using. So right now I'm going to be using that NFL 1. So hit dismiss, and as you could see, I have my whole rankings of all the players in the NFL. And what you do is basically, once the draft starts, everybody's going to be taking their turn to choose their players. So right here, ranked number 1 is LeSean McCoy from the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's most likely going to be one of the first ones to be taken. So basically, when he gets taken, you just click on the arrow right here, and you actually tell it if you took it or if another team member took it. So if another team member took it, you just hit other team, hit save. And what that does is it keeps track of each of the players that are being taken. So you just go down the list. Every time somebody takes another player, you just go down the list. So, Jamal Charles, another player takes him. And then it's your turn. So you're taking Calvin Johnson. So you're going to leave it on my team. Save. What's great also is you could even go into their stats. So if you wanted to see what's going on with Adrian Peterson, click on Adrian Peterson. Here's all his stats. Everything you want to know about Adrian Peterson is right here. It even breaks down his years, the stats of each year, the latest news, RotoWire's analysis, and 2014, the outlook you should be seeing for Adrian Peterson in 2014. That's very helpful information that you need. It's right there on the fly. What you could also do is, once you start getting really deep into your draft, you'll start seeing that, what players have been taken and what players you have right here in this really helpful section right here on the right. So you'll see that you have, some running backs and you have some quarterbacks, and you'll be seeing what position you need to fill in. So as you can see right there, I see that I already have a running back, 2 running backs, a wide receiver. I need another wide receiver. So if you wanted to, you could go up here to the top and you could choose a position that you need to be filled. So like I said, I need a wide receiver. I'm going to click on wide receiver, and it's going to show me what wide receivers are available and where they're ranked according to RotoWire. So then I could just easily say, oh, I need this guy right here. I'm going to click on my team, save. So this is great. It's a great way to keep track of who's available and where they're ranked. Now, the reason why earlier when I said under settings and under draft just my team, if you leave it at no, I'm going to show you guys what happens here. When you're drafting and it's your turn or it's somebody else's turn to draft and you're ready to assign it, it's actually going to ask you to assign it to a specific team. So you could say, team 3 took it. You could rename these team names, and it takes a lot longer. So I don't recommend doing it, because if you only have 90 seconds to pick somebody up, you don't want to be, having to look for the person's name. It's easier to just go into your settings and go to draft my team and hit yes, just your team. Also, a great feature is up here on top. I'm going to turn that off so I have all my positions here. On top here, you have also of all available. So that's all the players that are available still. All the players that are drafted. So you could look down the list of who has been drafted already. My tiers, I'll show you right now. Sleepers and busts. So if you go to the players, you could actually pick on one of them. And beforehand, the day before or whatever, when you're doing your homework, you could actually put them under a certain tier, or you put them down as a sleeper or as a bust. So when you're actually drafting and you need some help, or you need to see who you assign as sleepers or busts, who do you want to pick up and who's still available, you could just go to your sleepers, your busts, or what tier, each player is on. I don't really do that. I usually just go down the list and see who's still available and who I want. But that's up to you how in depth you want to get with this draft kit from RotoWire. You could also use the mock draft here. I don't really do it, but if you like doing mock drafts, you could use mock drafts here and assign the time, the amount of seconds between each pick, and you could do that through right there. Down below, you have also the depth chart. So you could see what players are still available from what team. So say you're right here under running backs and you already picked up Andre Ellington and you want to pick up his handcuff. You could see right here that Taylor is the handcuff that you would want to pick up. And you could go again to each specific position and it will tell you what the depth chart is for each position on each team. You also have an analysis section right here where it gives you the latest news on what's going on in the NFL league, and it's really, informative stuff if you would like to keep up with all the information that's going on. So now RotoWire has allowed me to give out 3 free subscriptions to RotoWire and getting the draft kit. Leave a comment down below in this video and go ahead and tweet this out, and I will be choosing 3 people at random to get the free app. So make sure to leave a comment and tweet it out, and I will choose 3 of you guys. Don't forget to visit informalgadget.com, and I'll see you on the next video.